Sir Graham Watson, former MEP and member of the Economic and Social Committee in Brussels. Interesting times, I think it's fair to say, with the High Court ruling concerning Brexit. I suppose the first question I have to ask you is, what chance do you think there is of Brexit not happening?
I think Theresa May is determined to go ahead with it. She clearly has always been on the anti-European side of her party. Her party is in government with a majority. The opposition is in no position to oppose, and business seems to be in two minds about the whole thing. So I think one must work on the assumption that it will go ahead. But of course it's not impossible that with this High Court judgment that the House of Lords will find a way either of stopping it or of putting certain conditions on Brexit, which the government may find difficult.
It's an interesting point, isn't it? Because if it is stopped, and there are a great many people, and I assume you are one of them, who would have, I imagine, loved to see it stopped, but then that would still be, a snub to the 51.9% of the British voters who voted to quit. So it would put the government in an interesting position if it had to stop. What hope of a sort of a safe resolution to this situation do you think there is?
Well, I hope there is, in the sense that if Brexit goes ahead, I hope we will manage to have a calm, rational discussion with the 27 other member states that will lead to an arrangement between the United Kingdom and the European Union, which is in everybody's interests. I don't see that as being easy. I think it may take us a decade to achieve, but certainly it would be the best way forward. On the other hand, if you look at the headlines in the UK newspapers, the Daily Mail calling the High Court judges traitors and so on, then it's hard to see the conditions under which there can be that rational discussion, and I think we may find 27 countries thoroughly fed up with the United Kingdom and glad to see the back of us.
I think you may well be right, to be honest with you. I don't think that the UK has thus far covered itself in glory in this particular situation. However, do you think that what has happened in the UK represents a move to the right across Europe, and do you believe that other EU members may yet follow suit?
I think this is part of a wave of nationalism that has swept the continent, and there are certainly tensions in France, where the National Front is polling very strongly, in the Netherlands and in other countries. I don't see those tensions expressing themselves in quite the same way as in the United Kingdom, and I think it unlikely that other countries will seek to leave at this stage. But you cannot ignore the fact that the United Kingdom leaving is a destabilizing factor in European politics and could lead to the breakup of the European Union as a whole.
With that in mind, and I think this will be the final question, given the amount of pressure that Theresa May's government is obviously increasingly under with the High Court ruling, what chances are there, do you think, of an early general election?
Well, I think this is the main safety valve for Theresa May if she finds it too difficult in her party or with public opinion, and there are now polls showing a majority in favour of staying, or indeed with the UK business community, then the way out for her is a general election, her own majority, and perhaps a completely new cabinet on a mandate to do or to act in the best interests of the country, whether that should involve Brexit or not.
But that would be a huge gamble for May, as much as it was a huge gamble in the end for David Cameron to take the gamble he did, assuming that the country would back him to remain when they didn't. Do you not think that May may well be very reluctant to take such a gamble?
I think she'd be reluctant, but I can see circumstances in which it might be the least bad option. And often in politics, the least bad option is the one that ends up being taken.